not reply in the waiting room, but I do have a colleague, Chiranjeev Pal, or aka CP.
Hi, everyone.
Well, welcome, CP.
Thank you.
Aditi, good to see you again. Pleasure having you on the call. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Thank you,
Joining us
Josh.
are members of the Sierra Angels. We have some of the group here. We'll, of course, record this call and send it out to the rest of the Angels to give you an idea of how tonight will work. We'll have 30 minutes of Q&A. We'll record this, send it out, and after the call, we'll share a Google Sheet with you. And this Google Sheet will allow us to kind of ask questions asynchronously, which will save a lot of the email back and forth. Hopefully, that's the intent. So yeah, welcome. And to kick us off, could you just restate the details of your raise?
So we actually are raising 750K bridge round. We plan to raise a seed round in Q3. Of this, around 335 has already been raised, and it is at 10 million valuation cap, 20% discount, 6% interest, and 2 years maturity, and 1.5x liquidity preference. Our lead investor is Golden Seeds, and they can share the due diligence with you as well. And the other investors are MIT Angels and Hawaiian Angels.
Fantastic. From my homeland, Hawaii. I don't often see that. Love to see it. I'll start us off with a question and then I'll kind of pass it around to the other angels. We touched on this a little bit at the end, but I want to kind of double click into the patent situation and who the assignments are and what is that situation?
So we have 5 patents from UCI, 2 of which we have license. It's an exclusive perpetual right. 3 others, all of which I am inventor on, of course. So 3 others we plan to license because we still don't use it in our product. We have an exclusive right for a perpetual license on that. And other 3 are from STL. 1 we have got issued, and other 2 are pending.
Thank you.
And if you want, I mean, I don't know if you want me to share anything or I can. So just to give you an idea of what is the situation, this is kind of the exact patent. So currently, our main accuracy of our product depends on these 2 patents, which we have exclusive perpetual license. This one is STL patent. And then the rest of it, as you see, 4 of them are UCI patents, which we have exclusive right for perpetual license, and 1 is STL patent pending.
Okay, and is there any financial tie in regards to something university earns?
Yeah, so currently we have the license, all license fee has been paid off. We now pay a 2.5% royalty on net sales.
And on that one, is that 2.5% for one patent, for both patents?
For
If
both
you end up,
both patents
and
together.
if you decide to take on those additional patents, would that be an additional license fee? Would that be included in that?
No, the additional patents, we have to have a different licensing agreement, but because, as you know, UCI has been extremely supportive of this venture, so we anticipate a similar kind of license.
All right, we'll open up the floor to the other angels.
I'll
Yes,
ask a
okay.
question. So you're raising 750 on a $10 million cap. I like the 1.5x liquidation preference. Thank you. What does your cap table look like right now? What is it? How much have you raised to date? And what do you expect to be in the seed round that's coming up in Q3?
So we have actually raised almost no institutional funding, right? Our main bulk of funding came from the SBIR, which we used to build the product, which is now revenue generating. So we actually got around $6 million in SBIR funding from US Air Force and US Space Force. The only funding we have other than that is 130K, which I have put in. and a $355K from angels in 2019. And we have signed two big contracts, one with Panasonic, which is a potential acquirer as well, and which is $500K for next 6 months, and another is NPI AV with $1.1 million in next 24 months. And so therefore, we are in an inflection point of revenue, and we anticipate raising the seed round 6 months later. We hope that we already just hired our VP of Sales, and we are in conversation with several other leaders in the market like Epson, Optoma, and PRG. So therefore, we plan to close a few more contracts in next few months, and we anticipate a valuation increase by 1.5 to 2 times when we go to the seed round. CP, do you want to add anything to that?
No, you have covered everything. So with regards to the cap table, even the prior funding, which was raised $355,000 before this bridge round, are in convertible notes. They haven't converted. All of these will convert in the seed round, which we expect to be priced down in around say Q3 of this year.
Okay. I was just trying to get a sense for how much of the company will be sold at the end of this round between I'll call it the pre-seed or the pre-seed, the friends and family, and this sort of pre-seed round. It's about $1 million you would have raised. That's presumably
yes. Yeah.
15 or 20% is where I'm guessing.
Exactly. My math is around say 20%, and then we plan to raise around $2 to $3 million in Q3. So
On
that
20 million, so that's another
valuation-
10 or 15%.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. I got it. Thank you.
Can you tell us a bit about, did you do a pilot with the Air Force and Space Force for that funding? And if so, are you continuing to another phase, or are they a customer? What's that history and future look like?
Yes, so all of our SBIR fundings, we received phase twos where we have actually built products which has been taken to TRL 8 so that we are actually ready to sell them. So as you know, defense is a little more, it takes a longer turnaround time and a little deeper pocket. Currently, there are also a lot of upheaval there because, for example, the SBIR funding has stopped. And we had actually two more SBIRs in the pipeline, which of course are kind of in the limbo. But we are now, our VP of Sales, who is come on board from this month, he has some defense experience in SAIC. We also are talking with the prime contractor who has a smaller one, but he's in the top 3% of outstanding prime contractor for federal contracts, especially in DHS. And we are working with them to kind of carve out a road so that we can get to purchase orders. We are also in conversation with Naval Warfare Information Center at San Diego. So several things are in the pipeline, but they're moving very slowly because it is also, I feel that the defense right now needs a little more direction, and then we can focus once we know where the pots of money are going to be assigned.
Yes, completely understand that. And what use cases, like for the phase two, can you just share a little bit about what?
Yes, absolutely. So let me again share. So I will show you the pictures of the use cases actually. So the biggest problem in defense is that currently when they go to remote and austere locations, their expeditionary immersive displays are kind of non-existent. Anything big is non-existent because they cannot carry the fragile and heavy panels. So that there what you see is basically a very fragmented display, and they have so much data that's kind of completely inadequate for them. But because projectors are easy to carry, light, and with our software Artemis along with multiple projectors, we have actually built prototype systems for them, which drapes a fabric on top of a frame, which can be collapsed and essentially doesn't need any tools and gets, for example, here in the top, you see a rapid setup command and control, which actually gets dropped as a single pallet um, ensemble onto the site, and uh, we can set it up without any tools, 2 soldiers in less than 30 minutes. Our software, of course, gets the projectors aggregated in like less than 4 minutes. So this kind of system, and then here in the bottom, you see a system which is essentially created by 4 of the top systems. So think of 4 of them getting together into a surround 320-degree display, which is used for surround immersive mission rehearsal and training. This gets set up in 2 to 3 hours, again, without any tools. And here is we did for US Space Force a dome, uh, which allows you to visualize space in the way space is supposed to be visualized. This is for space visualization on an inflatable dome. So again, a completely expeditionary system. This design, though we did the prototype on a 10 feet dome, we have the design for a 60 feet dome, which can be used for on the base command and control. So all these kind of expeditionary systems are what we are focusing on in the defense sector.
Very helpful. Thank you.
Maggie's off mute.
Yeah, I have a couple of questions. In your original application, you said that your revenue was 974,000, but the prior 3 months was under 20K. So how do you explain that?
So we had the SBIR contract. So the SBIR contracts are taken as a revenue. So that's how we computed it. Did we say revenue? Because we also, for last year, we also had a significant investment. So maybe the incoming.
No, that must have been no. That's the revenue because SBIR according to GAAP, we have to book that as revenue because it's not an investment. It's not like we cannot show it as equity. So the first 2 quarters we had SBIR, but the last 2 quarters of last year we didn't have any SBIR, and the company started going after the commercial. Yeah,
That's fine.
And the company
So-
started going after the revenues only from July 2025. Before that, we were building the product. So that's why our commercial revenue is kind of ramping up right now.
Okay. And your burn is 85K. So what are you spending that on? How much of that is headcount?
So we currently have a tech team of 6 full-time engineers. We have 1 VP of sales, and we have myself and CP. So that's basically most of our burn. We do small travels for trade shows, and yeah, and the equipment, like, if we have to test things, we have to get cameras, projectors, PCs. Those are all our major expenses.
Okay, and my last question is about management. Who in your team has any business experience?
So that's CP. CP is my COO. He has exited 2 companies before, and he has advised a dozen, and he can probably tell more about it.
Yeah, just very quickly, my background, I started my career in investment banking, and for the last 25 years, I've been working with technology companies. I've worked with both small startups all the way up to large companies like Oracle. I did 2 startups of our own. One was in the real estate space, the other one was in the mortgage space, and we exited the last one just before COVID. And since then, I've been working with multiple startups. But now I'm more focused on STL. I started working with Aditi, I think, from the middle of last year. So my background mainly is in technology and finance. I've straddled technology, operations, and finance, straddled both sides.
Thank you.
Other questions?
Is your main, you talked about hiring a new VP of sales. So 2 questions related to that. First, I assume that because you're hiring a VP of sales and you don't have any actual SDRs or salespeople, that you're expecting this person to carry a bag and do the primary
Yes.
selling in addition to being called a VP?
Yes,
Okay.
called a VP. Yeah, he's a senior person. He had actually done this type of thing, meaning basically worked with a startup from ground up, being the first hire in GTM. So we checked that out. And also, VP title opens the doors. Like when you are calling as a VP, then it helps while
Sure.
opening the door.
Sure.
But the thing is that it's an individual contributor plus managerial role. The managerial part will come only when we start hiring the team.
Great. And so I assume that means you're looking primarily at a traditional outside sales force and that your market is primarily the military, or are there commercial uses as well?
No, actually, we are focusing on two directions. Currently, we are focusing on location-based entertainment. We are selling through channel partners. There are three kinds of channel partners. One is projector companies, like Panasonic. That's the first contract we have. And now Epson is talking to us and Optoma is talking to us. The second kind of channel partner are the other integrators who basically provide a turnkey solution for the end user. So this can be vertical specific. So integrators in defense can be the defense prime. Integrators in AV will be AV companies like, the one of them we have is MPI AV. We have a contract with them now. And we can also sell through media servers, which is the last piece of any immersive environment. So because we are going through channel partners, our hope is that we will be able to use the sales force of the channel partner for the sales, leverage that. And then our sales VP of sales or whatever sales team we have in the future, because we have plans to hire later this year another sales member, then they will be focusing on getting this channel contracts, right? So each contract will be a larger number. That is the commercial sector. In fact, our pro forma is done considering only the commercial sector so that it's more conservative, because defense often you don't know how it will work, right? But we do have this person we have hired also has good experience in the defense. He has worked for SAIC before in the purchasing department. So he will also try to make inroads in the defense sector. In addition, we have our senior advisor of defense, ex US Air Force, a two-star Major General who has 35 years of service. And he has actually helped us before to get the SBIR fundings. And he is also going to work towards building more like BD kind of deals rather than just POs, right? And so that we can get navigate the defense landscape better.
Great. And have you and where does this VP of sales report? Is it reporting to CP or to you, Aditya?
Both of us, because myself, if you notice that the first 1.6 million that we have in contract now was mostly founder-led sales, right? So I have a long history in this domain. I have been an advisor for Disney Imagineering, helping them build their rides for Soaring California and Nemo, and I have also worked with companies like Cubic Defense. So basically, it is both of us. Me,
Okay.
CP, and he reports, of course, to me, and then, of course, both of us.
Okay.
Yeah, and I've run BD department in the past with multiple companies. So
Okay. I'll pass the baton back. Josh, who's next?
If everybody comes off mute.
Hey, hi, Josh. It's Mark. How you doing?
Mark, fantastic. Go for it.
Yeah, I've got two questions. The first one is, on the Panasonic deal, can you talk in detail on how that 300K, I think it was made up in that one deal?
That's 500K.
500K. Okay, so what is that? That's 1,000 licenses. Just talk us through so I get a full picture of exactly what that encompasses.
Yeah, it is. Our licensing cost is 5-year license for $5,000. We have given them a reseller discount, which brings our licensing cost to 2,200 roughly. I mean, 2,190 something like that, but 2,200. And then we have $1,000 per projector for implementation fee and $1,000 annual maintenance fee every year. So if you take every projector, it comes to around 7,000. Am I right? $8,000. $8,000.
not with a not with a discount, right? It's 22 plus 1 first year, right?
No, because 5 years an annual
Or
subscription
5
fee.
years.
So
Okay.
that comes to around 8,000, and they have
So I'll give
promised us.
I have it in front of me.
Okay.
So 80 projectors, with the discounts, the licensing cost, Panasonic is getting at $2,182 to be precise, and the implementation fee per projector is $1,000, and the AMC annual maintenance contract for 5 years per year it's $700 discounted from $1,000. So the license revenue for those 80 projectors is $174,500. Let's say $175,000. Implementation will be $80,000 because that's at $1,000 per projector. And for 5 years, the AMC is valued at $280,000. So if you add up 175 plus 80 plus 280, that's about $535,000.
Okay, so that leads to just two other quick questions, hopefully. Do you know, obviously in the process of the conversation, what was the rationale or the process in which they chose just 80 projectors, for example? I'm just really curious. Is that a test number? Does that represent a specific test module? I'm just trying to understand. You know what I'm saying, CP, right?
Yes. Yeah. Basically, we have been talking to Panasonic for quite some time. Then we decided crawl, walk, and run. So the crawl part is that 80 projectors do the pilot in the US territory only under the guy who leads the US sales. And this is being sponsored by the US CEO of Panasonic, PP&D, their product. So this, in 6 months, what's realistic number can be achieved? So we can set from both sides the success criteria of 80 projectors. So that's how they came up with. And also the other thing that they looked at was the pipeline that they had. And they have a closing ratio of 50%. From there, so they triangulated and came up with this 80 number, which we are working on for 6 months. So January till middle of this year. However, I must say, I think it was 3rd week of January or 2nd week of January, their 2 senior people from their global BD team from Japan came down to our office, and they were talking about how to roll it out after this project is successful. They were talking about which markets to go after this. And they talked about, obviously, once this is successful, it'll be rolled out the entire US. And the guy who leads the US also looks after Latin America. So the whole Americas will be after this. And the next target will be Western Europe. They also have a pretty good... Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, yeah. Just in the interest of time, are you guys involved in that value add sale? So do you have a commitment to join on calls to give the tech coloring? Okay.
Yes.
Exactly. Yes. So we will be doing the deploying. We will be on the calls with the customers and sales, everything. So we actually just did a sales complete demonstration last Friday. There were about 12 salespeople in the thing, and we are doing again another set of salespeople in a couple of weeks. And then from February 17th, we are going to meet regularly by every 2 weeks with the sales team to figure out which next opportunities we are going behind.
Okay, so in essence, to answer question earlier, that's your extended sales force, right? You are effectively training them, right? So then my kind of last question, sorry to be a bit of a question hog, but my last question is the package, the license fee. I assume that it just seems there's 5,000 discounted down to 2,100. Presumably, do you have an aspiration to put that price up? It still seems, based on everything I've seen, 10x, 100x cheaper. It still seems like quite a low cost of ownership to me. I'm not in the business. Is that something? I didn't see it in any of the plans. The thought that once you've done some seeding, maybe there is some plan to put the pricing up.
Oh yes, we definitely have the plans to move the pricing up. You can imagine that Panasonic, being this 800-pound gorilla, they negotiated that down. But also they showed us they are going to sell that at $5,000, and they, in their sales channel also, there are 2 or 3 different parties that they have to pay for. So they gave us that number, and obviously our thing was that first the adoption. Once we get the adoption, then yes, for sure. And Panasonic type of pricing, we are not going to offer to other customers who may not be able to sell as many projectors. So
Yeah, they're
that's
not.
one thing. The other piece also, Mark, is that we do want to move into subscription-based pricing. And currently, we have not been able to do that because the industry is not used to buying this type of product on a subscription or from the OpEx budget. They usually procure this product from as part of their capital budget. So once I joined STL, I was trying, because my experience for the last 10 years or 10 plus years, all the software companies have more or less moved into SaaS pricing. But when we started talking to the prospects and customers, we very soon realized that the money is coming from their capital budget, but hopefully we can gradually move the industry towards this SaaS pricing, which will also add to the revenue plus give us more predictability.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Great questions, Mark. Going around the horn once more. Okay. I've got one. What sort of revenues do you think that you become attracted to a possible acquirer?
So I think when we go to around 10 million revenue, so I think we have in our pro forma that happens in year 3, I think we can be very attractive to a buyer. Actually, Panasonic has already, when they brought up the question of exclusivity, which we did not give them, there was a discussion of like being a potential acquirer.
And that's 3 years up
Yeah, 3 years.
from now.
Yeah, from now, yes.
Perfect. Okay.
Yes.
Go ahead, CP.
Yeah, I was going to add that, it's not just Panasonic. There are a couple of others also who have shown interest. It's too early. And these strategic investors, they don't care about the revenues. So they are acquiring for different purpose because all these guys have also tried to build this product on their own and they have failed. And they have admitted that to us. So I believe there is a pretty good chance that this company may get acquired by a strategic partner, and in that case, the revenues will not count that much.
Alrighty.
Sometimes the strategic acquirer will actually cancel the contracts because some of the contracts could also be with their competitors. So
And
revenue
how does
is not really.
how does the patent licensing work with possible acquisition? How does the possible acquirer account for that or discount that? What does that
Yes.
look like?
Yeah, so UCI, whatever contract we have with them, automatically transferred to the acquirer. But if they want to do a renegotiation, that can happen during the exit. I mean, sometimes that happens. Sometimes they just take whatever it was there before. That's it.
Yeah. Perfect. Thank you. All right, anyone else before we wrap? CP, Aditi, thank you so much for joining us tonight. As mentioned, we will send this recording out to the rest of the angels. We will have a shared Google Sheet with you guys for asynchronous questions after this call. And then hopefully by end of this week, early next week, we should have kind of next steps for you guys.
Okay. Thank you, everyone, for your time.
Awesome. It's great seeing you. Thank
Thanks,
you for coming to
everyone.
Vegas.
Bye.
CP, pleasure meeting you.
Bye.
Likewise. Bye.
Josh was right.